everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be jumping into another theory video, or should I say jopping into another theory video, because today we are talking about Super M's jopping. I know that there must be a whole lot of questions about how this works in all of the universes between EXO and SHINee and NCT and WayV, so I'm going to try and piece some of the puzzle pieces together. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch every single little detail, but I'm going to at least lay out some key components. I hope you enjoy this video, even though it is just a theory, and not a lot has really come out with Super M. I know they have all their teasers and the music video, but I feel like once more music videos start to come out, we'll start to see even more of how their powers and universes collide. So don't expect everything to be right in this video, but if you want to see where this goes, then please keep watching. I'm first going to start with the name of the music video or song, which is jopping. I'm sure a lot of you already know what it means, but for those of you who don't, it means jumping and popping. The song is a big reflection on the members saying, look how far we've come and look how unbeatable we are, and we are the Avengers of K-pop. Now I want to get into some of the individual member trailers. My biggest question when watching the music video was, where did they all come from? How did they come together? Like, we're not gonna ignore EXO and NCT's whole concepts. SM would not have done that because there's so much, they're so big about their concepts, they wouldn't have just trashed them for no reason. If you've watched some of my other theory videos, you'd probably know what NCT's whole concept is and how it's based on dreams inside of dreams and multiple layers of dreams. And every time a member joins or leaves, they wake up from a dream. We can even see this in the individual member teasers. For some reason, when watching jopping, I remembered a weird detail that I've seen in some of the member solos, and not just in Taeyong and Ten's, but in Baekhyun's and Taemin's. One of the things I realized about SM is that if they plan to do something, they will try to go back as far as they can to find something that will connect all of them. So that'll come up again as well. Back on April 6, 2017, Ten's solo Dream in a Dream came out. This is where SM introduced Lucas. He was placed in the center of a circle archway. He also had a moon in his hand, which might not have that much significance, but you'll see where I'm going with it. But I think Dream in a Dream is a really big reason as to why SM chose Ten and Lucas instead of any of the other WayV NCT members. But that also gives them a reason to say why they didn't pick Winwin or Kun, who have been there longer than Lucas. But the most important part to remember is the circle arch. On August 13th, 2018, Baekhyun came out with a solo and a music video called Young. The video itself has a lot of social commentary about being molded by society. There's a scene where Baekhyun walks through a door with a big tunnel or circle with a beautiful sunset behind it. There's also another part where Loco walks through a door, and before entering, it's all white, but once he goes through, everything is like a rainbow. Remember how I mentioned Lucas holding the moon? If you look at the boxes on the background, you see hands holding a circle. This might not be connected to each other, but I just thought to mention it. Jumping ahead a bit, we have Taeyong's Long Flight, which came out on July 18th, 2019. He's shown falling asleep on an airplane and waking up in a very beautiful land. He's also shown in a room with, you guessed it, a big circle archway where he can see the clouds. I believe that this archway represents portals. The members have walked through these portals to get to the Super M universe. In Young, there's a circle of people drawing a bunch of circles repetitively. In the full members trailer, they showed Taemin with a circle and sparks around it, kind of like how Doctor Strange makes portals in the Marvel movies. To be honest, I couldn't find much about Mark, Kai, and Taemin finding a portal. If you follow EXO's theories, you know that they all have some kind of power. Kai has the power to teleport, which is one of the first things he does in the jopping music video. For this next part, I'm going to be referencing a video by Bookish Theories, who's a YouTuber, so I really suggest that you check her out. But she said that in EXO's concepts, they have the Red Force who gave them their powers. They have been a huge part of EXO's theories and have made their way into connecting to NCT. The symbol is shown with Taeyong in the movie theater, and he has a red string. In Taemin's Famous, he has a red string and rips it in half. The colors red and green are very important. Taemin being green and the red force being, well, red. Taemin is trying to get rid of the red and take the members. The good and the bad in the members' trailers are represented by these colors as well. If you want a more detailed description on this, please go check out her video. I looked back into Superhuman, which was the last music video other than Highway to Heaven that Mark was in, and I couldn't really find a scene where he found any portal, so his conceptual addition to this doesn't really make sense just yet. The most important music video to explain the trailers is Taemin's Famous. At first, I didn't think it had too much to do with this theory, and then I remembered a scene where he has a gun and he points it down, almost exactly like the way Taeyong does in his individual trailer. Bookish Theories also mentions this in her videos too, where Taemin drives a car like in Kai's. He also has a different reflection in the painting like in Ten's. He looks at his reflection like Lucas, and the mirror is broken like Mark's. I'm going to go a lot more in detail about this, but first, I just want to point out something else I noticed. In the Famous music video, Taemin starts bleeding out of his nose, and they're trying to make a parallel to the red string with it, which means that Taemin was probably made the same way that the EXO members were, and he got his powers from the red force as well. But the interesting thing is, he's smiling. He's not afraid of it, he's embracing it. He's shown representing both green and red. So there's a big inverted colors with reflection thing going on that we really need to pay attention to, which I will show you with the individual trailers. Starting with Baekhyun's trailer, since he was the first one, you see him in a room that's empty and dark and has nothing but electronics in it. Since he was the first trailer to ever come out, I don't think they wanted to show too much as to what their concept was going to be about, so you can see little splashes of red here and there, which I think they were trying to lead some EXO fans off thinking that it was the red force doing this to him. But in the first part, when the camera starts taking pictures of him, it flashes green, then red, showing that it's actually Taemin who's watching over him. I think maybe he wanted to test Baekhyun's power since he didn't know what it was yet, so he was the first one to be tested. And by tested, I think he put him in the box that was completely dark to see if Baekhyun could make light come through, which is exactly what he did. But he also knew that this would push him to make his powers go out of control, hence to why there's so many holes in the dark room that he was in, making Baekhyun think that he needed to be with Taemin to make himself better. After Baekhyun's trailer came Taeyong's. His trailer opens up where he walks into a movie theater and there's numbers counting down in the background. You see how he has a red luminescent light on his face. In the trailer, he wakes up in the movie, and he is watching himself on the screen. A red version of him walks up to the green one, and it shows him holding the string like Taemin did in Famous. The red version points a gun at the green version, and we don't see what comes after that, except for Taemin controlling the movie. This means that the red version is actually Taemin. In the Famous music video, when he was holding the gun, the light he was colored was red. Taemin is the one in these trailers that's making them think that their powers are becoming out of control. He made Taeyong think that he can't manage his doubles, which is why Taeyong came to Taemin. This becomes a lot more noticeable in Mark's trailer, but I'll get to that. In Love Shot, all of the members are shown in a movie theater as well. Kai, Exhuman, and Baekhyun all point guns down, kind of like how Taemin did in Famous and how Taeyong does in his trailer. Also, at the end of Taeyong's trailer, a version of him is shown clapping, but he's wearing yellow, and all the ones in the seat are wearing orange. And if you look closely in the back, you can see that the seats in the front are a weird red-orange, and the seats in the back are green. After Taeyong came Ten's. Ten is shown walking into a room with a giant black, empty canvas with flowers surrounding it. He picks up a sunflower and sees that it's dead. A reflection of himself comes through and pulls him into the canvas. Taemin is shown with a sunflower inside of his umbrella. In Dream in a Dream, The archway had umbrellas surrounding it. The sunflower is in Taemin's umbrella because he was the one who left the dead version of it at the end. 10 dances inside of this room and restores the painting, except for one sunflower, which is why he thinks he needs help, because he wasn't able to restore all of it. In Love Shot, all the members fill up the back of a car with flowers, so there could be a connection here with 10 fixing the portrait of flowers. Lucas was next. Lucas is in a room with a bunch of businessmen in a black and white filter. He looks up and sees a fan spinning, kind of like in Baekhyun's Young and Taeyong's Long Flight when he sees the plane from the spaceship. Lucas has super hearing and hears everything going on, which is why he can hear the fan and the buttons being tapped, also as to why he can hear the footsteps. He goes down the hall with a bunch of mirrors and the lights turn off and a red light turns on. This is to show that this version of him is Taemin. The rest of the mirrors are green. This confuses Lucas into thinking he doesn't know who he actually is anymore, hence to why there's so many reflections of himself. He doesn't know who he is, which is why he thinks he needs help from Taemin. Taemin also either lowers or heightens the volume, which is what messes with Lucas. After Lucas's trailer came Mark's. Mark walks into a door with a delivery. He places it on the ground and sits down in a chair. After sitting there for a while, he looks back at the box. His power is to make things bigger, so he goes up to the box and opens it, and out comes a mirrored stage. We are shown a spinning red light. When it shows Mark's reflection, he's red, just like Taemin when he looked in his reflection in Famous. In Mark's trailer, there's a lot more lore going on. It shows eggshells. Normally in a dream, to see cracked or broken eggshells, it means that you're vulnerable or at a fragile state in your life. Or it can mean that you're breaking out of your shell and becoming comfortable with who you are. He also is shown running up a staircase. Symbolically, this means he's going to have a long journey and a very complicated route with mystery and distortion. When I mentioned earlier that the lights are really shown in Mark's, is how it shows all of the colors inverting. This means the green that we think is Taemin is actually the red, which is why I believe that Taemin is all of the red versions of themselves. So the one we are seeing now is actually Taemin. Before I get to Kai, I want to mention something about 10 and Mark in the Famous music video. Taemin was dancing on a platform that looked a lot like the one 10 was in when he was restoring the painting, and at the end it turned into a reflective stage like in Mark's. After Mark came Kai. Kai is shown in an abandoned parking lot with flashing lights in the back. A light is shown going out in the parking lot, and Kai is asleep. He wakes up and doesn't know where he is, and he has tears in his eyes. The light starts flashing. I'm thinking this could mean that he thought it was a symbol from Baekhyun, but as we saw in Mark's, there's a red spinning light, so this could possibly mean that Taemin was the one controlling the light, making Kai think he was getting a message from Baekhyun. He walks back to the parking lot and sees that the car is crashed and there's fire. In the Love Shot music video, Kai was in the car. So maybe he thought there was a car crash, but really it was just Taemin deceiving him into seeing this. You can kind of see this in the Famous music video when the car crashes and the dummies are laid out and he lights them on fire and walks away. Another thing that I noticed was that in all of the Maknae lines trailers, they all had lights going out. In Kai's, the street lamp went out. In Mark's, there was a red light spinning. And in Lucas's, the lights went out and turned red. Lastly came Taemin's. This is where everything starts to get explained. He is shown in a room with red light and different versions of himself walking up towards him. He has the umbrella with the sunflower, like in 10's trailer. He has the chairs, like in Mark's. For the scene with the wine glass, I was a little confused, so I searched it up, and globe-views.com said, "If you admire a sparkling clean glass in a dream, it means that you will receive an invitation to an entertaining event. Wine glasses were neatly arranged on a table. This dream promises a surprise meeting with a special and interesting person who will make an unforgettable impression on you." And also, wine glasses in a dream, Book of Miller, is a sign of frustration and resentment that permanently deprive you of sleep and rest. So this could mean that they all got an invitation from Taemin, and they are coming to see this event. He is the interesting person who will make an unforgettable impression, and it's a sign that keeps you awake, which is what the members are doing. They're waking up from their dreams. When he's on top of the pyramid, it shows him with a green light controlling the cars. He controls the gravity of where they fall, which is how they almost fell on Kai, making him teleport to Taemin. He is then shown messing with the volume of creating frequencies that shake the glasses, which is how he messed with Lucas. It also shows the film reels in two separate scenes. One where light is going to another side, where it shows Baekhyun. Here we can see what Taemin's power is. He can defy gravity. Taemin is shown walking up a staircase with a bunch of different versions of him. If you count how many there are 6. 6 for each other member going into their dream states. But I think this is a different version than what Taeyong can do. If you've ever seen the NCT documentaries, which are their little dream documentaries, they can make mirrored versions of themselves, as many as they want. So that's what I think this is, and it's different from what Taeyong can do. But that also explains why he can mess with gravity, because in his dream he can do anything. Just like when Mark said in the NCT documentaries, everything is possible here in my dream. In a lot of NCT music videos, you'll see things defy gravity, and that's because of whoever dream it is, they're controlling that, or they're going backwards waiting for the fall to wake up. But in this case, it's Taemin controlling gravity. This also means that the red Taeyong in his trailer was Taemin. It wasn't Taeyong. I don't think that SM wanted to put too much about the NCT theory into this, because it would cause a lot of EXO stans and SHINee stans to be confused because they don't know as much about it. But there were other parts in it, like in Mark's, the staircase looks exactly like Kun's in episode 5 of the NCT documentaries. And there was a piano in the dream lab that would help control the dreams. And it had all this weird technical stuff on it like Taemin does. So I think he created his own dream lab, and that's what's going on. This kind of stuff is also shown in Love Shot with the room that Suho and Sehhyun are in. In the Taemin, Ten, and Kai dance music video, Taemin and Ten are shown giving each other very intense glances. In Taemin's part, the song says, this implies that they are in a dream state. When he finishes his part, Kai is shown walking into the room, and again, they give each other really weird glances. It's almost as if Kai knows something about Taemin, but I'm not very sure yet. Now to get into the actual dropping music video. I put it in an order so everything kind of flows together, and I wanted to first start off with this scene where one of the members is walking into a light room. As you can see around it, there are robots moving in a circle. These kind of look like the ones that were in Baekhyun's trailer. Only a couple of the members are actually shown in here, but I think that this was some kind of simulation, which is how they got into the weird desert place. But you only see Taemin, Ten, and Baekhyun in this place, but that could just be because the other members didn't get that part filmed or it didn't fit in. So I'm thinking that all of them are in there, and this is how they got into the whole area with the desert and the performance. So they're probably asleep in here because it does look like a simulation. And then it shows us how all the members kind of got together with each other. Taeyong is shown getting into a car, and so is Mark. They meet up with each other on the road, and that's when Taemin comes in. Taemin is on a motorcycle and ends up driving in between Mark and Taeyong's cars. I found this kind of interesting because all of the members from each of their groups are with each other. So Mark and Taeyong have the car. Taemin was by himself on the motorcycle. Lucas is shown walking up to Ten, who's on a tank, and that's how they got there. They drove the tank. Kai is shown getting onto a helicopter and jumping off. When he lands, he teleports to all the members. And Baekhyun was also shown getting off the helicopter and just walking over to the place. It then shows Ten and Taemin getting digital outfits formed to them. They're suiting up. The structure in the middle of a desert kind of looks like a coliseum. This is where they have their concert. It gets built right in front of them, meaning that whoever dream it is building it. But it is also being made by the drones. If you've seen Spider-Man Far From Home, the villain Mysterio uses these drones to manipulate people's realities. So really the Colosseum is actually just the drones, and the people aren't real either. Each member is bringing something different to this performance. Baekhyun is bringing the lights. Lucas brought the sound. I'm thinking Kai probably had to do something with getting them there since he can teleport. Mark brought the stage, Taeyong brought the people, and brought the performance, leaving Taemin, who probably created the place and the drones. On the stage they perform on, it looks a lot like the light room as well. In the video, we're shown things like speedometers or this other thing, I don't know the name for it, but I'll show it on the screen. And that kind of tracks back to the Want music video by Taemin, where even in that one, pictures of him are being taken and there's crossed lines going over him. In the teaser with all the members in it, they show them start to walk out into a room of press. Those kind of crosses that we've been seeing in the music video, they show it on a couple of the members as well. At the beginning of Taeyong's trailer, it shows the cross on the screen as for the number countdown. One kind of shows how Taemin could be creating portals in a way, since we see him standing in front of an eclipsing moon and a circle of snakes around him turn into dust. So that could be a way that he could make portals. In the full members teaser, they show the members standing in front of screens, and that's where that picture of Taemin came from, with the Doctor Strange circle around him. And then 10 shows up, and in Mark's it also shows a sun, and he kind of stands the way that Taemin does in One a couple times. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It took a really long time to create. I started this on October 10th and now it's the 20th, so it took me 10 days and it's been a long ride trying to figure everything out and put all the videos together. So I hope I did it justice, and I hope I did get a bunch of things right, even though that's really hard to do, especially since there's only one music video. This is the first time I've ever done a voiceover in my videos, and I wanted to see if you guys enjoyed it this way or if you enjoyed it with the text better. I'm not really sure yet which I enjoy. I think it might be harder for me to do voiceovers since I have to edit all the clips together and I have to go back and forth, so that's why a couple times my voice sounded different than the clip before, because I figured more things out and needed to add it in, or the first time I said it I didn't say it right and I had to go back and film it again. Also, I probably didn't pronounce everything right, so I'm sorry about that. There's a lot of different ways to pronounce things, so I just pronounce them the way that I've heard them before and the way that I have been saying them for a while, so I'm sorry if you don't say it the same way I do, or if you think I'm saying it wrong, but that's really not the point of the video. The point of it is to just enjoy the theory. I'm thinking about making another video on who I believe each member represents in the Marvel universe, so if you want me to make that, go ahead and tell me in the comments, even though since this video is already super long, probably not everyone made it to the end, but if you want me to make that video, please let me know, because so far there's a couple that are pretty obvious. Like, I have suspicion to believe that Kai is Thor and Taeyong could be Captain America, but still not 100% on all of those. If you want me to try and dig in more, let me know, because I will be down to do it. yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe if you want to see more theory videos. The day I literally started this, the announcement for Monsta X new comeback released, and I'm so excited. I have to figure out how to finish that video once it comes out before a whole bunch of other stuff happens. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride, but I hope you join me for it if you love theory videos. And for the last time, thank you so much for watching. Bye.